Well, I've made a lot of videos over the last few weeks about the best and the worst seaside towns in the UK, and this one has kind of slipped under the radar a little bit, despite the fact that it is one of only 3 seaside towns that made it into the top 25 in Europe list, and on a different survey was voted the 12th best beach in the world. I've never been here before. It's right next to Great Yarmouth. This is Gorleston-on-Sea. It doesn't feel like my kind of seaside town necessarily, because rather than it being arcades, bright lights and noise, it is very much £1 million plus houses on the seafront. But there is promise of a lower promenade down here. We've got little beach huts, and I mean, the beach does look very impressive. So we're going to go down and have a little look at that. The stuff in the distance there that looks seaside towny, that's actually Great Yarmouth. We're that close. The only thing separating Gorleston from Great Yarmouth is the River Yar. You cross the Yar, you're in Gorleston. So we're in Gorleston, and we're going to go and have a little bit of a look around. It's very windy, by the way. I apologise for the wind noise. I'm doing the best I can with it. This microphone is doing great work currently. So we've made it down the little zigzag down the side of the cliff there, and the big selling point for Gorleston when I was doing my research last night is very much this: 2.1 miles of some of the nicest beach you will ever see. Like I say, 12th best beach in the world when we're just talking in terms of beach. You can see it goes down a long way down that way. It's a beautiful sandy beach. Obviously there's nobody on it today. It's the middle of September as I'm filming this. It is not a warm day. The people who are around are very much in jackets and hoodies and trousers. You can hear how windy it is. You can see how rough the sea is. So it's not really a day for going to the beach, which is why nobody is on it. And my suspicion, based on what I've seen so far, is when it's not really a day to go to the beach, there's maybe not a lot else here in Gorleston. It might be very much beach, and it's a lovely beach, and my understanding is a beach that isn't as well known as Great Yarmouth just down the road, or Lowestoft, which is a little bit further that way. I certainly didn't really know about it. I'd heard the name, but had never made the effort to come here, despite coming to this area of the coast multiple times in the past. But there's not much in the way of amusements or things to do, or even chip shops or anything. It's by and large these lovely looking beachside cabins, which are painted fun colours, all very nice, and do go all the way along. And you've got a lot of promenade to walk along there. So, I mean, I've never been here on a summer's day, but I can't imagine you ever get to the point on a beach like this where you can't find somewhere to put your towel down, just because there's quite limited parking up the top there. Even today, when you can see there's nobody around, nobody on the beach, there were probably only 4 or 5 car parking spaces available when we got here. But, I mean, it is lovely. It's a lovely beach, but the hoodlum in me, the commoner in me, is looking ahead to the other side of the river over there, thinking they've got bright lights and lots of noises and arcades and things in Great Yarmouth. I think this is why I'm never going to fully agree with some of you about what the best and the worst seaside towns are, because I know for a lot of people this is the dream. There's nobody here. It's a lovely beach. The sea is apparently perfect for various water sports. I just want to be able to go and get a bag of chips and an ice cream and sink some 2p's into a coin pushing machine, and then lose any money I make doing that, trying to get a stuffed toy on the crane grab thing, and then ride a land train. And maybe that's further up this way, who knows? At the moment, I think it is just beach. It does one thing very well, and that one thing is this lovely, lovely beach. And apparently we can purchase a beach hut, which, I mean, if I'm ever in a position to purchase one of those houses at the top there, and we drove past some phenomenal seafront houses on the way in that must be well into 7 figures. If we ever get in a position where we can buy one of those, then maybe we'll look at buying one of these so that we can keep our towel and stuff in it when we get a little bit further down the front. Right, even though the wind is gusting, and it is absolutely not the weather for it. And I'm definitely not dressed for it. I am venturing, try and cover the microphone a little bit. I'm venturing onto the beach because one of the things when I was reading about Gorleston is it's apparently got beautiful, fine, soft sand. You got some sand there. So as soon as you step onto it, you do kind of slip on it. It is lovely, fine, soft sand. There's a few stones on it, but oh God, you've not got... What have you done down there? Don't go into the sand with your wheels. I could have moved that, you know. But I always love when you're at the seaside as well and you see the like the banister, the barrier, the railing, whatever you would call that. And see how it's just buried. How far on do we think that goes? Where did this beach used to be for that to be buried to that extent? But yeah, that is some of the softest sand. And as soon as we stepped onto it, just sinking into it, it's yeah, I'll give it. It's a lovely beach. It's a very pleasant beach. It's difficult to judge on a non-beach day because I'm there thinking, is it the best beach I've ever been to? And all I'm doing is thinking back to when we were in Tenerife earlier in the year in lovely sunshine, lovely warm water. And yeah, that was a lovely beach, but it's a good beach. Thumbs up for the beach. So since getting here, this is the first sign of life and civilization we found. JJ's at the beach cafe. I suspect it is pretty much the only option here for any kind of refreshment because there was actually a signpost for it in the car park at the top of the cliff back there that said JJ's at the beach cafe, 300 yards this way, lower promenade. So I think if you want refreshment in Gorleston, you go and hang out with JJ, which definitely looks pleasant enough as far as I'm concerned. If the audio quality wasn't enough to convince you of just how windy it is, both the sand blowing and then the sea being as violent as it is over there should give you a good idea of just how windy a day it is. This is a very pleasant walk though, along here. I've often heard people talk about wanting to retire to live by the sea, and in my head it's always been Skegness is a bit loud and busy every day when you're looking to retire, isn't it? Somewhere like here, I get it more. This is a nice beach to live near, I think. Not necessarily a beach to come on holiday to. There's not much in the way of tourism facilities and stuff. But if you lived nearby, I get the feeling this is definitely the beach you come to because it is great. Well, I've not seen a sign like that anywhere else. That is very, very cool. Big thumbs up. You can't see it because I'm doing it off camera, but big thumbs up to Gorleston and Great Yarmouth Council. And just here, we've got a little bridge that presumably leads up to the main road. So I guess you can get traffic down here. Well, I'm pretty sure this is a pedestrian area. That being said, there are double yellow lines there which indicate, I mean, it is direct access straight through to the road from there. So I guess theoretically you can get cars down here, but nobody is. So maybe you're not allowed to get cars down here. I don't know the rules, but we are getting towards the end of the beach in this direction, and what I have noticed at the end here is some lights and some buildings. So I think we might be approaching what I would consider the seaside. So as we get to the end of the beach, and you can see all the really choppy sea as it hits what I think is the docks at Great Yarmouth, or the side of the docks, the way into the docks, we are starting to get a few more bits and bobs. We have a little street art area. We know that's deliberate street art because it's a poker stop, so it's not just graffiti. We've got a bin shaped like a ship. We saw one of these yesterday in Great Yarmouth. They are pretty cool. The one yesterday was the HMS Elephant. What is this one? This is Lydia Eva. And then over here we have what I guess is a little beachside water park thing. So you've got, yeah, this looks like a little wet play area where it would squirt water and stuff out. I guess this is an ice cream van or an ice cream kiosk. And then do we think this is a pool with a fountain in the middle, or is it a water feature pond thing with a fountain in the middle? This definitely looks like somewhere for playing. and it's got a gate through to the next bit. So I'm thinking this is an outdoor pool that you swim in, which presumably is free entry because you can just literally walk straight down to it. So does it have any kind of signs? No dogs allowed on the beach. I'm going down here, I'm gonna have a look. I'll be back in a minute. Because I'm intrigued by this. I want to know what the situation is. There's no obvious way in or out of that. So I'm thinking that's for decoration, not for swimming in. Yeah, that looks like a bottom of a pond. So I think that's just to look pretty, and it's got benches around it to look at. And then, I mean, you can really see from this angle just how lovely the sand is on that beach. I know I keep going on about it, but it is a nice beach, and that is why we're here. But then you have, oh, there you go. No paddling or swimming in the yacht pond. So I'm guessing this is the yacht pond, which you can't paddle or swim in. But I guess this bit, I mean, the gate is padlocked, so we can't get in there now. But presumably in the summer, that's where you go and get wet, if you don't want to go and get wet over there in the sea. I need to go and tell Anna about the yacht pond. It's called the yacht pond, and it's not for paddling or swimming in. It is decorative.
Yeah, you can put your things at your old man things.
Well, maybe you put your old man boats in it. Yeah, maybe that's what it's for. That probably is what it's for. That's why it's got all the benches around it. To put your boats in and drive them around. That makes more sense. There's a couple of ponds near where we live where old men sit around and drive their little boats around with benches pointing out. Anna reckons I'll hit an age at some point where I'll just come home one day with a boat and start spending my Saturday mornings at the boat lake. So maybe it's coming, and when it does come, maybe I'll bring my boat here, who knows. But here we have the smallest array of seaside, seafront stuff that I've ever seen. We have some amusements, we have the yacht shop, we have fish and chips, we have teas, coffees, breakfast and burgers, we have a bar. I mean, it's everything you would need, but just one of everything. And this car park certainly seems like this would have been another option. I did search what is the best car park to park in Gorleston, and the internet told me that one. This one, I think, would have been less of a walk. Oh, it's Sunday mornings here, so I could do Saturday mornings near us and come here for Sunday mornings. That is amazing. Go and check out the Gorleston Model Boat Club. They have their own beachfront lake. So there is the arcade, amusements, not much of it, but it's there, and that's the main thing. We have Damaschio's Italian ice cream, the Marina Bay fish and chips cafe that also does burgers, then the yacht shop, and then the Fig, which is, I think, a bar that has a little takeaway window, does loaded fries, pizzas, grills, various bits and bobs. Yeah, the sand is up here and is absolutely bonkers. Goodness me. Right, we're going to follow around this way a little bit more. I want to stand on the point where you can see Great Yarmouth. I assume that's a point that exists. There we go. Ice cream. No, no vodka slush here, that's for sure. But still, ice creams with a Snickers in, made with your favourite candy bars in that one, in a milkshake. I can't decide if that's a better or a worse idea than vodka slush. So the Fig has a rooftop bar, rooftop eating. I tell you what, at the height of summer, I bet that rooftop bar is lovely. You can see there's hotels back there, more takeaway type places back there as well. And then we've got a little bandstand, is that what that is? Gazebo, what would you call that? And some table tennis tables, which are cool. And then I think more bars and things over here. We are pretty much getting to the end of the beach.
Ping pong.
Yeah, ping pong. Is that the train station there? It looks like a train station. If it's not anymore, I bet that used to be. That definitely has the look of a train station about it over there. And then this is a bit that's caught Anna's eye. We are literally at the end of the beach, but she wants to go to the bit where the waves splash up and get wet because she's mad.
I've been in the sea this year.
You have been in the sea this year. You swam every day in Tenerife.
I've been in Britain.
You haven't been in the British Sea this year, that is true. Anna does seem pretty determined in her plan to go over there. I don't know at what point I should show her the danger keep off sign. Or do I just let her figure it out for herself? I'm not her boss. Independent women and all that. She'll figure it out. She'll be fine. Look, she's halfway over there now. Have you chickened out? Have you chickened out? I said, have you chickened out? Ah, okay. So we've got another bar here, the Ocean Terrace, and also the Pier Hotel, which suggests there was a pier here at some point. There doesn't seem to be one here anymore. There's the public toilets. But I guess around here is where there was a pier. I can certainly understand why there isn't one now, judging by how choppy the sea is. So that is a seafood and steak bistro where shirts and shoes must be worn, which definitely is a shirts and shoes must be worn in that restaurant. The fact that it needs a sign. The sailing club is here. We want to get up over here. I mean, you can see it's not been raining today, but you can see from how wet the floor is that there's definitely some splash that is happening here. I just don't want to get my camera wrecked. Look at that. That has got some splash on it. Look at the sea. It is so choppy. My word. That is bonkers. It's definitely windy. And we're still right next to the beach. The beach we've just walked along is there. Still beautiful sandy beach, but very, very rough, choppy sea right next to it. So we're now wandering around onto this bit, which is, I mean, literally the floor is wet over here. How much further are you planning on going? My goodness me. That's mad. Look at that. Don't think I'm going down onto that bit. I don't think the camera would like it, but I mean, what a contrast from where we just were. It is still not raining, I would like to point out. But look at it. It's absolutely mad. And round here, we've just got a car park. But yeah, this is, and over there, that is Great Yarmouth, the other side of all this. But that is, I'm not going over there because that's very wet and I don't want to get very, very wet. But that is a rough, rough sea. I didn't think I'd be seeing massive waves like this when we came down here to look at a nice beach today. This is just an excellent bonus. This is madness. Well, that was a lot of fun and bonkers. And now we're coming around the back of the Pier Hotel where we found some more amusements. So we've got the Pavilion Theatre, Ocean Bay amusements, and you can actually get a proper look there at the docks, which once you get to the other side of those, that's where Great Yarmouth is. But yeah, coming around here, you've got Bongo's Bingo, the biggest amusement arcade I think we've seen so far in Gorleston. This isn't the building I thought was a train station before, is it? Because that's a theatre.
Yep.
And then bar, maybe? The Ocean Room, proper seaside traditional bar. I don't think there's much more up here though. This looks like we're actually getting into the town of Gorleston. There's a Cliff Hotel up there. I think we're going to head back the other way and find somewhere to get a coffee on the way, which might mean heading to JJ. This car park here, by the way, is the one that backs on to where all the waves are happening. So if you park in there, you can literally just step straight through on a windy day and see absolute sea carnage. One quick coffee break in Marina Bay later. Anna was just loading herself back onto her wheels. And now I think we're just gonna wander back down again. What we might do, I've got so much sand in my eyes now. It's so windy. I think the plan now is we're gonna go up to the top of the cliff. Can you call that a cliff? The mound up the slope and walk back on the top there. Mainly because we want to nose at all the really big, fancy, expensive houses that were up there because we drove past them on the way in. There were so many. And we want to have a closer look and pick which one we're going to buy when we're millionaires. So we're now up on the cliff top. That is actually the little path and bridge that we saw from down below that just brings you up here to street level, where you can't actually get in with a car because it's got bollards there. But there's a little kids play park there. You can see the sea is still a wild madman over there, and then over here a selection of tennis courts, which is very nice. Weirdly, doesn't seem to be like an office or a desk or anything where you book them. They're just, I mean, they are fenced off. I guess you have to go somewhere else and pick up the key or a code or something. There's no one playing tennis. It'll be a fun place to play though. Tell you what, there's loads to do on this cliff top. There's another park here. I think that's the third park we've walked past. And then up here, golf, maybe? The flattest golf course in the world? Maybe. There's definitely flags over here, which maybe it's just putting. Oh no, this is bowls, so there's bowls here. And then I think the next one along might be putting. There's certainly a lot to do up here. If you're a family with young kids for the parks, or a pensioner who likes bowls and sitting, there's loads here for you. And I mean, in the background as well, here comes the wind again, but look in the background at the size of some of these houses with their balconies and their triple garages and their, I mean, the amount of glass on some of these houses. They are bonkers. That one there, look at it. Look at it. I want it. It's amazing. I thought YouTubers were supposed to be rich. I could only dream. Oh, that one over there, the white one with all the glass. My word. There you go, pitch and putt. 18-hole pitch and putt. Apparently. I don't even see where the 18 holes are, unless they're talking about that place. Maybe that's a different place. Because I would say this is more putt and putt rather than pitch and putt. There's not much pitching to be done there. I think that's just 9 holes of putting. And they're advertising their pitch and putt place, which is a little bit further away. But yeah, literally everywhere you walk along here, there's some kind of activity with some kind of enormous mansion next to it. What a place. I mean, look at that house there, that white one, with all the glass. Please, everybody, like and subscribe. I reckon if we get to 10 million subscribers and start averaging a couple of million views per video, we might be able to start saving up for the deposit on one of those. And with that, we are back at the car at the end of a very windy day in very windy Gorleston. Let me know down in the comments section what you think. If you've been here, do you think this is one of the best beaches in the world? It certainly looked nice. Certainly think I need to come back on a sunny, summery day, but also let me know down there where we should go next. We are interested in going to all of the best and worst seaside places, beaches, holiday resorts within the UK and beyond. Very much looking for your ideas. The reason we came on this trip to do Great Yarmouth and the nearby areas is because I noticed so many of you were asking for it. So you are kind of in control of where we end up next. But for now, if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on it for us. Subscribe to the channel for loads more stuff like this and to see what else we got up to on our Great Yarmouth trip, including staying on a holiday park for only the second time in my life. And it was a different experience to the first one. And thank you very much for watching.